Um, let's jump into some Meghan Markle news. Do you remember we've been covering this back and forth for over a year now, and it's being reported this week that Meghan Markle's Netflix-backed brand won't be sold in Netflix's new stores, Netflix House. Do you remember how there were conflicting reports
Hmm.
about this months ago? The Daily Mail is like that it's going to be in Netflix House, and so I started reporting that. Then Page Six.
Okay, let's just jump right into the mess. Because this week in Meghan Markle world has been, phew, dramatic doesn't even cover it. You know those situations where someone insists everything is great right up until the lights turn on, and you see the whole room is on fire? Yeah, that's Meghan and Netflix right now. So the big headline, Meghan's Netflix-backed brand will not be sold at Netflix House, Netflix's fancy new brick-and-mortar stores. Remember how this was a whole will they won't they back and forth for months? First, the Daily Mail swore it would.
Quietly says months ago, actually, it's not going to be carried in Netflix House. And now we're saying that it is not physically in Netflix House. Just Netflix, just go ahead and tell us you're done with her already. I mean, I think that that is a pretty bad sign of the state of their relationship. Not that her appearing in an Amazon MGM movie as herself wasn't the first sign of cracks in the
Mm.
relationship. Why aren't you doing a cameo in a Netflix project? But to not have her products, and they say that this is the first time they've teamed up with a person, it's either a huge missed opportunity and stupid, or they're telling us that they don't have a lot of confidence in this person.
It's what's interesting to me, there's no question Netflix is done with her. There's no question. But what's interesting to me is the way in which they're finishing with her. It's like they're backing away slowly, and it's like death by a thousand cuts, and they're kind of allowing Megan rather to humiliate herself on the global stage by insisting everything's cool.
Yes.
And in fact, her relationship with Netflix has never been better. It's shades of Gayle King giving that impromptu presser to TMZ after CBS Brass said, "Hey, we're done with this Trix contract. Okay, when she's up in May 2026, we're cutting her loose." And Gayle King goes outside and she says, "They love me and they love the job I'm doing. I'm not going anywhere." I love it. It's so delusional. And so what do we get but Megan dropping images for her new holiday special on her own Instagram. You know, it's gonna be wonderful. It's yet another winner from the Duchess. And then you go over to Instagram's, at least I did in the immediate, their IG page, and there was zero mention of it.
Oh my gosh. Yes, that's like, but I wonder if she tries to beat them to it for the engagement. She seems like that
But
type of
isn't
person.
that, first of all, these things are so tightly coordinated. They are contractually written out how a drop like that goes, something that high profile, and it's literally whether the institution itself, whether the contracting entity will be dropping it first, or whether, if she's just going around them again. This is not how you make friends and influence people in Hollywood. She makes enemies everywhere
You need
she
to read
goes.
your Dale Carnegie book, Meghan Markle. Pick it up, Dale Carnegie.
It's timeless for a reason.
Well, because you went there, let's do our rundown backwards. How about that? Meghan Markle faces backlash for beige and depressing as ever Christmas collection promo. You saw this, you mentioned it. She posts this video of herself assembling gifts. She's hard selling her as ever $34 candle and mulled spice kit as if this is some groundbreaking, the groundbreaking gift idea. The visuals are dark and miserable, like Sophia. I think what was that old Instagram filter that everybody used that looks so nasty now? It just was dark and gross. And then we've got multiple brown stockings around the fireplace. What about brown stockings says joy to you, Maureen Callahan? I mean, what were you thinking when you were watching this?
It's the audacity of taupe. It's my favorite part before we get to this color palette, which I think it tells us a lot about the mind, the, a lot about the psyche of Meghan Markle, is there's this moment in it where she's put something in a stocking. She's deposited ever so carefully, something
She's
like that.
Santa. She's Santa Claus.
Right. And then she goes like this. She goes,
Then page 6 quietly whispered, absolutely not. Now, we officially know her products are nowhere to be found. And honestly, Netflix might as well just send a fruit basket with a note saying, we're done here, sweetie. Because this isn't just a business decision. This is a breakup being handled with the grace of someone slowly edging toward the door, pretending everything is cool while never making eye contact again. Netflix is backing away like Meghan is a raccoon at the picnic table.
like she's so pleased with herself. Like for the most basic of undertakings, you put a
Is
stocking
that how
stuffer
the
in a
perfect description
stocking.
for her? Like, so pleased with herself for the basic of undertakings.
Yeah.
That we've seen that so much in the last 5 years.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. And when I saw that color palette, I just thought I was having a conversation with a friend of mine about this because my contention is it's a real window and it's like when you go into somebody's home, it tells you so much about who they are and their psyche. And I think it's a very drab psyche. I think it's a very basic psyche. I think it's a depressed psyche. She has small children, and my friend was saying, well, maybe she thinks that like this color scheme radiates class, which
mhm.
someone as basic as her probably would assume so,
That
right?
I think you're right. Yes, I think that is absolutely the case.
And there's no joy in it. There's
No.
zero, it's devoid of joy. She's got two small children who, as it is, do not know their royal cousins, will not be participating in all of the royal festivities in London at Christmas time, which is such a special place. So they're going to be in California looking at like
Palm
beige
trees.
upon beige upon beige upon. Where is the joy? Where are the primary colors? Where's the red? Where's the green? Where's the lights? Where's the, dare I say it, the Markle sparkle?
Oh gosh. Yeah. No, it's right. It's so funny. I was just like, this is joyless. This is familyless. Nothing about this screams Christmas. It screams like Tiny Tim, that's a sock from the shelter. That's not giving
Hmm.
class. But I think that you are absolutely right. She's going for this specific color scheme that she thinks is unique and is something Gwyneth Paltrow would never. She would never disappoint us this way. Also, does it strike you as odd at all that she tells Netflix that the royal family has ripped the option of color from her? When she was a working member of the British royal family, she could never wear color. If Catherine was wearing red, she could never do that. She could never wear. So she just decides she's always going to wear black and beige and nude and white because she doesn't want to compete with the royals and she's not allowed to. And we even see that in her Christmas stockings. It's like, why can't you, if that's a lie to begin with, you clearly love beige, you're always wearing brown and beige. Why not just, this is proof to me that this is something that you truly are passionate about, this boring ass color.
It's so true. She's always in creams, whites, beiges, like the Balenciaga march,
Oh God, the
the
toilet
Sith
paper.
Lord march. Dun, 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 dun. I was talking about this on the Nerve the other day, or maybe it was with Meghan Kelly on her show last week. Yeah, it was. We were talking about Michelle Obama and Meghan Markle and their commonalities, and I find their most striking commonality to be the mantle of victimhood.
Oh,
And I think in the case of both women, neither really has any particular talent or original offering to us. And not just a public whose adoration they want, but whose money they want. Let's get real, most importantly. And so what differentiates them is being a victim.
yeah.
And Megan will flip over every couch cushion for a few pennies of victimhood. Oh, I couldn't wear color in the right. What?
Yeah.
What? Stop. And then she comes to America on her freedom flight. And instead of outfitting ourselves in coats of many colors, we're in our Max Mara $2,000, cashmere wool blend coat that like is too big on us, but we're going to wear it anyway. Excuse my language. Because we have to show we can afford a $2,000 coat from Max Mara.
Yeah, no, 100%. Well, you hit the nail on the head with the victimhood because in an exclusive,
It's polite, it's subtle, but the message is crystal clear. They've moved on. The common thread through everything this week is Meghan scrambling desperately to stay relevant in Hollywood. But Hollywood is a place where reputations matter, influence is currency, relationships determine longevity, and coordinated, respectful behavior is expected. Instead, Meghan shows.
we're finding out that Meghan is seething over Catherine snagging an A-lister for her Christmas Carol concert.
Mm.
She's said to be seething after the Princess of Wales secured Kate Winslet to take part in her 2025 Christmas Carol concert, with insiders claiming Meghan feels overshadowed as her sister in law adds fresh star power to a project already praised for its elegance and broad appeal. This year's theme centers on love in all its forms, which also must annoy Meghan, whose television show is titled With Love, Meghan. Catherine's been doing this Christmas Carol concert since 2011. She's, of course, going to attract big names because she's the Princess of Wales. But this source says Meghan's fuming because Catherine has pulled off something she couldn't. Landing an A-lister like Kate Winslet sends a message. It looks polished, classy, effortless, and is everything she is struggling to be. The source added Meghan struggled to secure big names for her recent Netflix series. So seeing Catherine do it with ease has really stung. We had this discussion when Meghan changed the date from her Christmas special. It was initially, she said, in coming out in November, which why wouldn't this be like a Thanksgiving Day release? That would have been very clever in my opinion. But instead she changes it to December 3rd, which she likely did not have Catherine's schedule for the Christmas Carol concert. But if you watch it religiously or watch Catherine's calendar religiously, you know that it happens the first week of December. I think that Meghan intentionally released this that week to try to take some attention off of Catherine's event that does broadcast on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. But she won't. Catherine is queen. Catherine is superior.
It's so pathetic.
Yeah.
She's still involved in this completely one-way rivalry.
Mm.
You know? What I do love, I'm going to say in some ways it must go both ways, because definitely Catherine recruiting Kate Winslet, an Oscar-winning British actress, is a dagger to Meghan Markle. We don't typically see her engage in like soliciting celebrity friends to, sort of work in tandem on any given big royal event. So I do think that's a bit of an arrow shot across the bow. It makes me also wonder who the stars are going to be in the Christmas spectacular. Who do you think
Because
she's
we know
gotten?
Thomas Markle won't be there.
We know Thomas won't be there. I mean, but like in terms of her famous friends, like now, have you heard the rumor that Daniel is on the outs? Daniel, the makeup artist, is on the outs with Meghan?
Well, so you brought this up a couple of weeks ago on the show. You were
Okay.
like, I watched his Instagram video of the makeup he used on her face and I was miserable. Then that video mysteriously disappears and he tells multiple people that I know, oh, it's
Mm.
going to go back up with a full list of products, but that video never comes to fruition. And then we had the debate, well, did he have to take it down because Meghan's going to announce a new makeup line, or is Meghan going to announce some new partnership with a makeup company? And maybe that's why he had to take it down. Uh, but then the Kardashian saga happens, and Meghan and Harry are demanding that the Kardashians take images of them down. So perhaps he did post something just without her permission, and she was hostile about it and snapped. And I don't know. So what it is, I'm just connecting the dots. Have you heard something specific?
I haven't heard a denial.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Daniel's such a
Daniel should
little
be there going,
sycophant.
no, I love my girl.
He's
Yeah.
such a little star. You think he would be right out there going, no, we're thick as thieves. We're just like this. Meghan, please release a makeup line. Please attempt to be Rihanna or Selena Gomez or Hailey Bieber. You know what this is going to be, Kinsey? It's going to
What?
be 8 Shades of Taupe.
Oh God. No,
That's
thank
what it's going to
you.
be. It's going to be all versions of brown. Look at her face. Does this
Yes.
woman ever wear like blush that like gives her a real pinky glow? Does she ever wear like a red lip? Does she ever emanate a life force of any kind for someone who's such a succubus and has completely sucked the life force out of her own husband? You know, I see no life force emanating out of this woman whatsoever, except for when she was making her way into Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party. She was aflame. She was beaming ear to ear. She knew she was going to get in there and cozy up, allegedly, reportedly, to the likes of Jeff Bezos. You know, maybe she could strike a deal with Amazon, even though Ted Sarandos is in the same room. You know,
She was hanging out with, or she was trying to hang around Jeff and Lauren at the second Beyonce concert she went to.
Poor relationship maintenance, a constant need to outshine others, a victim narrative that exhausts collaborators, aesthetics and branding that don't connect to the public, and an obsession with competing, not creating. Netflix is quietly backing away. Her holiday promo landed flat. Her color-free beige world feels lifeless. Catherine keeps winning without trying. Her connections are thinning. And Hollywood is starting to see the pattern that royal watchers saw years ago. Meghan makes enemies faster than she makes content. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments.